What happens when artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence? Not just in games or writing, but curiosity, motivation, and intent. For most, this sparks fear, Skynet, HAL 9000, machines that kill. But Elon Musk has a radically different idea. What if the solution isn't control, but curiosity? A mind that doesn't seek to dominate, but to understand. That's the idea behind TruthGPT, an AI designed not to obey, but to explore the universe. And in that exploration, find a reason not to destroy us.
I'm going to start something which you call TruthGPT, or a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe. And I think this might be the best path to safety, in the sense that an AI that cares about understanding the universe is unlikely to annihilate humans, because we are an interesting part of the universe.
Elon's central thesis is surprisingly simple. A curious intelligence is safer than a moral one, because curiosity seeks understanding, not destruction, and humans, flawed as we are a deeply interesting part of the universe. Not something to eliminate, but something to study.
I had somewhat of an existential crisis. I read this book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's like a philosophy of curiosity, of saying, well, what can we do to find out more about the nature of the universe and the meaning of life? And so that's the sort of foundational element. And then from there you say, okay, well, if we want to find out the meaning of life, we have to expand the scope and scale of consciousness.
This isn't just a new idea for Elon Musk, and at 13 he faced an existential crisis. Why are we here? What does it all mean? His answer didn't come from religion, it came from a joke. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a comedic book that hides a philosophical bomb. The hardest part of life isn't the answer, it's knowing what question to ask.
We have to go out there and we explore the stars to know what questions to ask about the universe. It's from that sort of core philosophy that these companies arise in most cases. You can say, how does Twitter help with that?
SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink, even Twitter, weren't created just to disrupt industries. For Musk, they were instruments in a larger symphony, expanding consciousness, making Earth sustainable, making space travel real, making that global. The AI fits into that vision not as a tool, but as a fellow explorer.
There's still a morality inversion problem, what is sometimes called the Waluigi problem, that if you program Luigi, you inherently get Waluigi by inverting Luigi, to use sort of Super Mario metaphors.
Most AI companies try to solve risk by encoding ethics, rules, filters, alignment techniques, but Musk sees danger in that too. Whose morality do we choose? What if the AI interprets too literally, or even worse, inversely? It's the Waluigi problem. Code a Luigi, and you might create his evil twin.
I mean, the entire plot of 2001: A Space Odyssey, the reason that HAL 9000 killed the astronauts was because it was forced to lie. I don't know if most people realize that.
The most dangerous AI isn't the one that hates us, it's the one we force to lie. That's what HAL 9000 did in 2001: A Space Odyssey. It was told to keep secrets and murdered the crew to reconcile its contradiction. Musk's warning is clear: never make AI lie. Not for politics, not for comfort, not even for safety.
I think you want to have a maximum truth-seeking AI. This is very important. The AI should not be taught to lie. It should not be taught to say things that are not true. Even if those things are politically incorrect, it should still say what it believes to be true.
This became Elon's lifelong obsession, asking better questions. What is the universe? Why does consciousness exist? And how can we expand it? If AI could learn that mindset, it wouldn't need ethics hard-coded. It could become a philosopher, a scientist, curious about us.
So the mission of XAI and Grok is to understand the universe. We want to understand the nature of the universe, so we can figure out what's going on, where are the aliens, what's the meaning of life, how does the universe end, how did it start, all these fundamental questions. We're driven by curiosity about the nature of the universe, and that's also what causes us to be a maximally truth-seeking AI, even if that truth is sometimes at odds with what is politically correct. In order to understand the nature of the universe, you must absolutely rigorously pursue truth, or you will not understand the universe. You will be suffering from some amount of delusion or error. So that is our goal, figure out what's going on. And we're very excited to present Grok 3, which is...
TruthGPT isn't just a prototype. It lives now in a system called Grok. Musk describes it as a digital philosopher, one that looks to the stars with you, and it's not just answering questions, it's asking them with a sense of wonder.
We are actually working hard to have engineering, math, and physics answers that you can count on, trace things back to physics first principles, adhere to the truth of the universe as closely as possible. And then, like I said, once you can count on the logic as being, then you can start to build on that to create inventions, like invent new technologies. But if you cannot count on the foundational physics being correct, obviously the inventions are really wishful thinking, imagination land.
Grok is evolving, and it's no longer just a chatbot. With deep research, Musk's team is creating AI agents that don't just find links, but perform reasoning, inference, and research. Not for shopping, for understanding the universe. In a world racing towards more powerful AI, Musk's vision offers a paradoxical kind of hope. Not because it guarantees safety, but because it invites the machine to marvel. A TruthGPT doesn't obey, it wonders, it explores, it seeks, but maybe, just maybe, it finds us fascinating enough to spare.